Hey, what's up guys? This is Jawad and I brought another video for you. Today I'm going to show you TFTP server, and it is called Tribal File Transfer Protocol, and we can set up on the computer. And why we use the TFTP server. So the main reason we use the TFTP server, so we can back up our configuration, our router. It works like a FTP, and it uses a client and server software to make a connection between two devices, but it makes a UDP connection. That being said, it only works on local area network. So some of the software which are using the TFT servers are the command line, Linux, Mac OS, and there are certain freeware, Windows TFTP. There's a Windows 10 utility. You can add a TFTP server into the Windows 10 and make it client, and it has a GUI. So there are certain differences. So if you look at my screen, I have a diagram over here. In this diagram, I'm not going to show you how to make this diagram, how to assign the IP address. So I assume you're already aware how to assign the IP addresses and how to drop these servers in the packet tracer. And on the green part is the configuration. We will see this configuration when we do our practical. So now the next slide is, this is very common question. The people ask, what is the difference between the TFTP versus FTP? So tribal file transfer protocol is different than the FTP. So original version of TFTP transferred file up to 32 megabyte, but in some versions, if you remove the limitation, then you can send the file up to 4 gig. This is the minimum you can say is 32 by default, but you can increase it up to 4 gig. In TFTP, you cannot delete or you cannot perform some operations like FTP. Like you are saying, it does not ask you for a username and for the password. So it runs on UDP port 69, which establish a connection between two devices. Let's suppose server and client, and it looks for the file. It asks for the specific file. So that's why it only works on local area network. Okay guys, now it's time to do some practical work. So what we are gonna do, we have a router here and we have a switch over here. I assume you already know the configuration, and you know how to dump these routers and the switches into the software. So the next thing we are going to move, either we are going to store all this configuration to our server. This server is actually a computer, and if we go to the configuration, double click on it, and we go to the services, there would be a service called TFTP. Click on the service, and if you have files over here, just hit remove button. I had a file, I already removed it. And then you also need to assign the IP address to this. Go to your here, and you can assign the IP address and the subnet mask. That's it. And then the same thing, you should assign the IP to your switch and then the router. If you don't know how to assign the IP, this is very basic lab, and I'm going to do it later sometime. So next thing is, we can save two type of configuration. One configuration is whatever commands we perform, we are going to switch, we are going to move, we are going to save those commands directly into the server. The second configuration is, let's suppose we have iOS. So these Cisco devices, they have iOS 15 point something is running currently, and previous version was 12 point something, and then the previous was 7 or 8. I don't know, I'm not that old. And so anyway, we can save the iOS. When we say the iOS means, let's suppose you have a phone and you are running the software in the phone. If you had an Apple phone, you should have the iOS. The same iOS is running in the Apple phone. If you have Android, and you will see the Android operating system in your phone. So the next thing is we will go to the switch, and on the switch we will run these commands. So the first thing is all these commands runs on the privileges mode. So we are gonna say copy run TFTP. Let me hit enter, and it's asking address or name of the remote host where you want to save your configuration on TFTP server. It's asking the server name, either the server IP. So I'm going to provide the server IP 10.0.0.3, and then it's going to ask me what is the name of the file, like, and then I will provide the name. Let's say I say configuration. Okay, I'm gonna say that access my channel name, and then I hit enter. So writing configuration, if you see here, it is telling me, okay, so this command saved around 1086 bytes of data. You already read it, bit is equal to 8 bytes and something like that. So this is actually the size of what the file has been written. So now how we can verify this? Simply we just need to go to the server and then go to the services and then go here, and you can see the file name is tech access. So this is how we can save the configuration file to our server. Let's suppose you wanted to save the full iOS. If you wanted to save the full iOS, I think we were on the server last time, or either on, oh, we were on the switch. Let's suppose we are going to perform the same thing on our router right now. So we will go to the privileges mode, and then we will say copy run TFTP, and it's going to ask me the host, and I'm going to provide the IP, and I'm going to say tech access 2. Maybe we should name it as a router name so we can memorize the file, what the file is saying. So the best thing is keep follow the rules, what kind of rules you have for saving the configuration. You should have something like that in your company. You can save it accordingly. And then now it's time to save the iOS. For iOS, I'm going to say show flash tftp. Okay, nothing detected, so I'm going to say show flash. Here you go. So it says the copy name. So we are going to copy the name of the file, and this is the file, I believe so. Let me see. Yeah, this is the name of the file. So you can copy it. This is not the correct. This is the length and the name start file, and then it says here. I believe that's the length of the file. So we can assume we can save here, and then we're going to run the command again. And in the command, we are gonna say copy file name, which is going to be paste, and then this is the source file name, and then save it on our server. And then again the file name, the destination file name, I would say the destination file name should be the same as the, let's try this. It says invalid, so we are making a mistake over here. Let me think. So we made a mistake because we did not write the full command. Copy flash tftp. If you write this command, it's going to ask the source file name, and then over here we can paste it like this, and then it's asking for a host here, and then we will provide the host and then the destination file. Okay, I would say keep the destination file as it is. Do not change anything in the destination file, because It tells you all the thing. It's a universal type of router something. This is the model number, and then this is the iOS number, and then I'm going to say paste and hit enter here. So it's gonna save the iOS on TFTP server. We should wait. Maybe I should press the fast forward. So this is actually the model of our IS, or actually the model of our router. What kind of router we have? Come on, hurry up, man. We don't have much time. Okay, it's waiting, it's waiting, it's waiting, it's waiting. Yeah, here you go. I did fast forward. And then here is the thing. It says these are the buyers copied. These are the seconds, how many seconds took. While it was long enough, just 14-15 seconds. And this is the byte per second, and it says okay. So we save the file here. So we should go here, go to the TFT, and here is the file. So let's suppose something happened to your router and you need a configuration, and if you have saved all the configuration on your TFT server, you can go back to your TFT server and you can run the configuration again. Either you can restore the your iOS. Over here the question is if we can save, if we have the similar router, similar model, can we save all the configuration? Like we save a configuration for one router and then we can restore to all 5 routers. I would say no and yes. So if you are going to restore the iOS, then it's well and good, but if you wanted to save the configuration, then it's not good, because let's suppose if you have applied OSPF, either it's not good for switching and routing, and every router is going to get a similar IP address, and you will get error with conflict with the IP addresses and all those things. So when you are going to copy the same configuration to different routers, just be very mindful. And that's the lecture today. Hopefully you learned something, and I also learned something. And thank you so much for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Have a good day. Bye bye.